Hello. Hello, everybody. How are we doing? Just jumped on. Sorry, short notice. I just wanted to jump on and give you a couple of updates. I can't stay on long tonight, but I'll be back streaming a bit better properly, probably towards the end of the week. I've just had a really busy week or so. So, I just want to give you a few updates. We'll let a few more people come in. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everyone's support. Hello, Claire Bear. How you doing, my darling? Hello, Andrew. Thank you for being a member. Honestly, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Cups in the kitchen. Look. How are we all doing? Did you get notifications then, guys? Thank you. Oh, is that your new photo? Is that you? Gosh, you're beautiful, aren't you, darling? Andrew, I can't say you're beautiful because I can only see an A, but I'm sure you are handsome. It costs nothing to give people a compliment, does it? And make them feel better about themselves. Hi, Lee. How you doing? Sound and looks. Going to say, yeah, how's the audio? Right, so a couple of things. Now, we were talking about... Hi, Cindy. We were talking about the... oh, you're welcome, darling. I don't know if you're following this, Cindy, in the US, these missing, deceased NASA or rocket or jet propulsion or, similar scientists going missing. Now, this lady we were speaking about recently, Melissa Casillas, it's not Casillas, I keep calling her, it's Melissa Casillas. She's the first one that they've actually found her body. Now, so many of these people have just vanished into thin air. Now, let me just see the latest. Hang on. Because the last time I checked the latest on the case was 2 days ago. Now, there's been a few more updates since then. And this is really interesting because, just a quick recap for those of you who don't know much about Melissa. Melissa worked at the Los Alamos. Hold on a sec. This is 2 hours ago. The Los Alamos, the lab in Albuquerque, not far from Area 51 in that area. This is Melissa here, Melissa Casillas. Okay. Now, she vanished. Hi, Chris. Hello. It's been a while. Hello, Space Cat. Hi, Carlos. Big up, Terry Knowles Band again. Hello, crew. We've jumped back onto this because I want to give you a couple of updates, okay? So, Melissa, we have covered her before, but I'll just to give you a really quick overview for those of you that might have forgotten or are new. She worked at Los Alamos, which is where General McCasland had ties. He lived in that area, though. He did a lot of work in Ohio at Wright-Patterson. Monica Reza was also in that same area, the Albuquerque area, New Mexico. She was a scientist. Now, Melissa wasn't a scientist. She was an administrator. Oh, thank you, Cindy. Oh, welcome to the crew. Thank you, my lovely. Thank you, sweetie. I appreciate that. So Melissa was an administrator. So we all thought, well, hang on a minute. Why would they want to bump her off? She wasn't a scientist or any related, but she could have seen something. I know I've just seen a clip of it. I'm going to upload it soon to Terry Knowles Band again. Just got back from Walking George. So this lady, she went to work with her husband, Mark, who also works at this lab, not far from Area 51, the alleged area. Thank you, darling. And she said she'd forgotten a key card. So she says to her husband, right, I'm going home to get it. And then she told her colleagues she was going to work from home that day. She went home, left her work phone and her personal phone, and walked off, went and bought her daughter lunch, which makes no sense because she works in a cafe anyway, from a Subway. She went and bought her lunch. She was last seen walking along a highway, vanished into thin air. No one has seen or heard of her from her since last June, I think it was. Yeah, June. Now, 3 weeks ago, they found her body. Now, the family, her daughter and her husband, have been constantly saying that Melissa has run away with another man. I did, Cindy. Yeah, you've been a long time ago, my lovely. So yeah, you've been a mod for ages, sweetheart. Her mother and her aunt and her sister say that there's more to it. So this is the backstory on Melissa. So bringing us up to today, the family, the mother and the aunt and that side, her side. You're right. You just tripped over. What happened then?
Nothing. Why?
All right. Thank you. Have hired a private investigator, and he's an ex-homicide detective, a very, very, very experienced homicide detective. Now, Cindy was already in there. I haven't just made her as a mod squad. She's been a mod squad for, don't know, a long time. So, found a body sat against a tree, and there was a gun there. So that's all we know. Now, this is where things get really, really interesting. There's a Facebook group that's been set up. And it's Justice for Melissa. Now, I want to go through some of this group with you because it's pretty astonishing stuff. I think it blew my mind when I was reading it. Now, she was found roughly 6 miles from her Ranchos de Taos home. Now, her family released a statement saying that they'd already searched that area, which made no sense. Now, the autopsy hasn't yet been released because apparently her body was severely skeletonized. So they are still conducting further anthropological, can't say that, examination. Until that official autopsy report is finalised and made public, the private investigators' claim of a gunshot wound to the skull remains unofficial detail. So that's what the private investigator is saying. Now, this is, hi Tamsin, this is where the rumours come in. Now, okay, so the day that she went missing, they had a sighting come in. A witness named Lloyd contacted the police the day she'd gone. He reported seeing Melissa walking along the highway near a blue Dodge truck. He provided a specific location, even a vehicle description and a timeline. Now, we since know that that was real because we've got the CCTV. But according to this recent reports, Melissa's husband, Mark, told the police, hi Ian, that the woman told the police that the woman the witness saw couldn't have been her. So they know the police did not pursue that line of inquiry. So for the first day, and especially the first 48 hours, is the most crucial in finding a missing person. So this Lloyd, seeing her, reported it to the police, said, give the description of the vehicle that was by her, everything. And because the police, instead of doing their job, they went to the husband and said, we've got this sighting in. And he went, oh, it can't be her. She left with somebody else a different way. Now, the family are looking at suing the police over this. Now, the investigators agreed with the husband and chose not to pursue. By the time the police circled back to speak with the witness days later, the trail had gone entirely cold. So, this is where we're at now with Melissa. So I just want to show you, before we get on to latest on General McCasland, I just want to show you this Facebook group. It's really interesting. I think you'll be quite surprised. Now, I was reading this the other day and my mind was blown. Blown was my mind on this. Now, the husband, Mark Casillas, is now filing for a restraining order against the private investigator who is a homicide, ex-homicide detective, against him because he has been publicly called. This isn't just a nobody. This is a decent detective. He has been calling him out, and he's getting a restraining order against him. This group is full of Easter eggs. It's full of information. It's a public group. Well, it was. It's gone private now. So I can give you quite a bit of information out of here. So I'm just going to go through. So it was a public group. I've been in the group for a while. There's a lot of reporters in the group. They've got a lot of audio in here, actually. So this is quite new. I've not seen this yet or heard this yet. So we'll go through that in a moment. Now, her family are in this group. We've also heard that her husband, don't forget, he also worked at Los Alamos. There's rumours that he had a girlfriend, that he was abusing her. There's this Emerald Private Eye Investigations and Consulting is the private investigator who is working on the case. So there's so much information in here, it's unreal. I think the best thing for me to do on this, to give you a good update, is to go, I'd say do a video on this, because I think we've got the 911 call as well from the husband. Another thing what the husband said, which was really interesting, was he's been putting some poems out when she was missing. Some of the things that he mentioned were really interesting. He actually gave away clues where the body was. So I think this is really worth a deep dive. Some of this is new. I've not seen it yet. So I do think we need to go through all of this. I think that's the husband there. Oh, this is some Ray Cortez. I think he's a family friend of Mark. He's a pathological liar, just like Mark. That's the husband. So look at all this. Is all new, guys. This is all new. So much. But why would he take out a restraining order against the detective? Well, the ex-detective. Now, the only person that seen Mark at work that day when Melissa went missing was just one person. I think it was this Ray guy. Nobody else seen him at work that day. And apparently he's already been in trouble for faking clocking in. As you can see here. What if I told you there's a witness associated to Mark's former team at Los Alamos National Lab who has stated that he wasn't in fact at work all day and he had a history of time card fraud because the punching device was done from your phone. He would often not be at work site when he claimed to be. He also had a brand new Ford F-150 work truck assigned only to him and has GPS inside of it. Guess what the cops never got? Yes, you guessed it. The GPS records. In fact, I don't even think they knew about the truck. So the cops have been either really, really woeful or they've involved and they're being told to shut up. But it does look like, from what I'm seeing here, that the husband could possibly, allegedly, be involved. Now look at this. This is coming from someone local. Following your post, this is to the Private Eye. Wanted to give you a little bit more information I've known. My friends live 2 doors down from Melissa and Mark. He talks about in a phone call. In the days prior to Melissa disappearing, Mark was going around the neighbourhood asking if anyone had cameras. Why? Why would he ask that? And on the day of Melissa's disappearance, the son heard a loud scream from their home. told me they fought a lot, and they told the police that Mark had been going around their yard through a small fenced area acting strangely. There's so much here in this group. From the neighbours, from the family, and look at this, there's just constant, I think Mark is guilty. Now, if it's true, they're saying that he had a girlfriend. Now, this one here, Sierra Casillas, is Mark's daughter, but not a daughter with Maria. So I think the best thing to do, if I put a video out with all of the latest on justice for Melissa, who was found, as you know, deceased. Here she is here with her dad. There she's when she's little. Let's get back into the live chat and see what people are saying. Hello. Right, what's going on in here? You all being good? Because I've not been in here, so I don't know what's going on. I hope you're all being good. So it doesn't look good, does it really, for Mark? I just want to listen to a couple of these calls, these audios in here. But there's loads of stuff. He's been filmed with a girlfriend. He was out eating a meal 2 days after he found out his wife was found deceased. What's this here? 31st of May. On Wednesday, May the 13th, she was still missing then, at 12:15, I was made aware of a body found and recovered in Rio Chiquito. It was broadcast on the police scanner. This is the detective working on the case, private detective. The same day, we also received credible information from an eyewitness who observed the following interaction. The afternoon that Melissa went missing, our witness states they were with another individual named Ray Cortez when Mark called. Ray answered on speakerphone. Our witnesses have stated that Mark sounded upset and nervous about something. Ray asked him what was wrong, and Mark responded by saying, Ray, I hurt her. Now, this is the alleged confession that we're hearing about, and I don't know what to do. So someone rang in and reported this, and that it was heard on the police scanner. It goes on. The call came off speakerphone, and our witness was unable to hear the remainder of the conversation. However, our witness states that Ray Cortez stated, "You're the only other person that knows about this, so if it gets out, I'll know where it came from." We have provided this information to the police as well. Ray Cortez then repeatedly decided to blow up my cell phone on that Sunday until I answered. This is what the PI is saying. I won't disclose the contents of that conversation yet. I have also received credible information that shortly after Ray met with the police on Friday, May the 15th, that there was a family meeting where his father repeatedly threatened the life of this witness. We've also given this information to the police, so if an effing hair on this person's head gets so much as looked at in the wrong way, you will know exactly who to look for. No more secrets, nobody is safe. This is a murder and people will be held accountable. This is from the PI. P.S. Ray called me with his wife asking for how to protect himself from the FBI. I told him the only advice I could give is to tell the truth. Then he cried about his reputation. Well, guess what, Ray? F you and your reputation. Ray had been a snitch for game and fish for years. Actually, how he was able to get his recording. I don't know what that means. So it looks like Mark, the husband, confessed to this person. We have an eyewitness testimony that Mark was seen what has been described as creepily sneaking around the yard. Every little piece of evidence is pointing to the husband. Let's have a listen to this audio just quickly. We've got no.
Yeah, this is Ray Cortez. How are you, man?
Here we go.
What do you want? Hello?
Yeah, I got a missed call from this number.
Yeah, this is Ray Cortez. How are you, man?
What do you want?
Man, I don't know why you're tying me into this, man. I don't have nothing to do with this.
I'm tying you into it because you're tied into it, because that's the information that we got from a credible witness, Ray. And if you don't like it, that's tough shit.
No, look, man, it's from my daughter, dude, and she wasn't even with me that day.
Okay. Well, whatever. That's for the cops to figure out.
No, look, but I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you, man to man, dude. Honestly, dude.
I don't believe a word you say, Ray. I know exactly who you are. I know exactly what your history is. I know about the $50,000 cash payment you made to the guy from CYFD to make the.
So this guy is the witness who allegedly said he had a confession from Mark, and now he's just denying it all.
Case go away.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I
bro?
spoke-
Seriously, like,
I spoke to the game warden who
I
did
Bridget.
who
I
raided your
Peter.
house.
Yeah, you're right,
Back
you're
in the
right.
day, back in 2013. I know all about you, bro. Okay. So, and I also know that last Sunday, for no reason, you and I have never met each other before or spoken to one another. Last Sunday, you called my cell phone repeatedly for some reason until I
I called
answered.
you a couple times.
Okay.
Dude. I called you like 2 or
My
3
advice to you is tell the truth. Have a good day,
Dude,
Ray.
I'm telling you the truth, dude. I have phone records. I'd
Good.
be more than willing to.
Have a good day, Ray.
So this morning, Ray Cortez called me at approximately 6:15. He also drove over to Melissa's parents' house. Who is this guy? And lied to their faces. He also told them he doesn't know how to get a hold of me when in fact he had 3 phone conversations that he initiated. Innocent people don't show up to a grieving family's house at 7:30 in the morning uninvited and lie to their faces. So we need to find out more about this guy. And then people saying guilty, he can't sleep, he's a scumbag like Mark. I don't know who he was. Don't let Ray tell you he barely knew Mark. I can put his brother Rico in Mark's house as an invited dinner guest. This private eye is all over this. He's literally his website as well. He's got a website, Emerald Eye Investigations and Consulting. He's even all over his website saying he's gone on record saying Mark's guilty and he killed her. Right? If he's lying, why doesn't Mark Casillas, the husband, sue him for defamation? Because maybe he's telling the truth. What's this one here? Look, what's this? What's going on here?
I just wanted to send my apologies to you guys. And there's also some rumors going on saying that Mark called me on the day she was missing, and that the individual that was with me overheard my conversation when Mark called me and said, "I heard her. What do I do with her?" So that's not true.
I'm sorry, I've never met you before. Who are you again?
I'm Ray Cortez, and I mean, you don't have to record me.
Well, I might have to.
Huh?
I might have
Look,
to.
I've never met you. I'm not
So
belong
this-
to your family.
Okay.
I'm not.
This is the. Well, let me just. This looks to me like that he's turned up at the family's house. Their daughter has just been found deceased. What the hell? Nobody in the press or media has officially given the name of the location where Melissa was found. How did Ray know
We're trying to
this
figure that out.
at 7:50 in
We're
the
trying to
morning?
figure that out.
I know the area. I know the place. Yeah, I mean, I've hunted here when I'm alive. So, but I don't know exactly where
It's a
she's
hunting
from.
area,
Yeah,
probably.
I mean, it's all over the media. You know, Gaffey Ridge or something like that. But
You were talking about McGaffey?
that's what they were saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure that out.
I know the area. I know the place. Yeah, I mean, I've hunted here when I'm alive. So, but I don't know exactly where
It's a
she's
hunting
from.
area,
Yeah,
probably.
I mean, it's all over the media. You know.
It's not. It wasn't all over the media. This is why witness that found her name has not been published. So the person who found her, the hiker, hasn't been named. It's all going on here. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. I appreciate you. I know Private Eye, it does give me but in America, in the US, this is what they do. So, you know, if you've got enough money, unless you are really, really poor, you'll hire a private eye because, you know, it's such a big country. You can't have police as many. You imagine, they're so vast in the US. If you want to get someone pinned down for something, you need someone to do it for you. Taxes are a lot lower in America as well. People have more disposable income than here. This is just a piss take here. I know, Stephen. So this went from being a missing, working at the laboratory and missing. Hello, Candice. Hello, Rustic. To finding the body. Hi, Shell. Hello. Let me just give you you won't know what's going on, darling, because you've not been around, but it's like a true crime sort of missing scientisty type thing, this is. Let me just get into the chat, sorry, and give Shell a wrench. Hold on. Right, 25 people watching. Hit the like or the dislike if you don't like me, because I will not cry. Oh, Sparkle Soul's here. Hello, love. I've literally just come into the chat. I didn't see the chat. You're Jim Rockford, huh? Right, so this is your new, right, I'll give you managing mod, Shell. Hang on a minute. Oh, I don't know. Rustic, are you a regular? The gun found next to her, yeah. I know you can't stay, darling. I know you've got kids to bed and stuff. Hello, Rustic. Hello, Sparkle. Sorry, I've just literally caught the chat. Right, I'm coming back out the chat again now, so I'm not ignoring you all, okay? So, Ray Cortez first contacted me on the 17th of May and again this morning before visiting the Mondragon residence, which is her parents. So, the husband worked at the Los Alamos laboratory with his wife. We don't know what he does, right? Nobody knows what Mark Casillas does there. Is he a scientist? What's he working on? What did his wife see? I think that it's my personal opinion from what I'm seeing in front of me, is that he has got something to do with it. Why though? Why? There's so much more. Now, we need to know who this Ray Cortez is and what his relationship is to Mark. So it's a good job that the family filmed it. You imagine this guy just turned up at the house. I want to remain anonymous, but I feel obliged to report something that's been bothering me since Melissa's disappearance. I live in Albuquerque with Rico Cortez, who is brother to Ray Cortez. Over the past week, I overheard multiple conversations between Rico and Ray and family members that made me uncomfortable. From what I heard, Ray seemed very worried that Rico might be questioned by police about Melissa being missing. He was worried because Rico knows information or the backstory about what happened. Apparently, Ray and Mark are good friends, and Ray spoke to Mark personally over the phone. Rico was living with Ray last summer in Taos. Rico also said that Ray was worried his father talks too much. So what I don't get about this Ray, right? He told the police that Mark admitted that he'd heard.
No, I thought it was girls, man. So like that lady that's walking, like she just.
He admitted that he said to police that he gave me a confession, and then he's retracted it all. Who's got onto Ray? Who is threatening Ray? So these are some of the phone calls that were made. Now let's have a listen to this one.
Drive into it, you know what I mean?
A life is a life. It doesn't matter if you're a housewife or a convicted felon drug addict. a life is a life, and they should be treated with dignity and respect, and that's what we're asking,
Hi, Bev.
for, is to give this case the attention that it deserves.
Absolutely. And so one of the places that kind of comes to mind after you just asked me, where I would, get rid of a body if I were, like, Mark's pretty well aware of Taos Pueblo tribal land.
Mhm.
Nobody's going to step foot on there. He knows the tribal land pretty good. We hunted all those corners. He's been an outfitter. He's hunted Unit 49. So, the natives only go so far. They only hunt so much.
Sorry,
You know what I mean? So,
Being
I
really
don't know.
loud.
Maybe that's something to think about.
That's interesting that you say that, because
So, guys, I think the best thing for me to do is to put all this in some sort of. This is all new. You see, when I was looking through this a few days ago, a lot of this wasn't there. Now, I do know that Mark wrote a poem mentioning a fork and which directions, and I've since found photos of where her body was found. There's so much going on. Oh, so yeah, I think I'm gonna have to. Oh God, sorry guys, it's George barking at things that probably is nothing there. So the family, her family, will not stop until they had justice for her. They won't stop. Rightly so as well. Can you look after George? No, can you sort the dog out? Oh, God. Sorry about this, people. Mark, Ray, I hurt her and I don't know what to do. On Wednesday, May the 13th, we received credible information from an eyewitness who observed the following interaction. The afternoon Melissa went missing. There was another individual named Ray when Mark called. Ray answered the speakerphone. Our witness states Mark was upset and he admitted it to him. So why won't Ray go to the police and just tell the truth? Who is threatening Ray? Yeah, I think, guys, I'm going to have to do a video on this. This is too much. There's too much. So what I want to do now, before we go, another quick update. I want to give you an update on General McCasland. So do you remember General McCasland? The guy that the Wright-Patterson base, he had Q clearance and he disappeared. His wife went to an appointment. I think it was a doctor's appointment. They changed it from a hair to a doctor's. She comes back and he's vanished. Now, apparently, excuse me, there was some repair people in who were scheduled to come in that morning. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I would say it's probably best to sort of go back through stuff, because it's going to be too much trying to explain all that now. So, excuse me, got my voices going all the time. I'm still struggling with this tooth. I'm getting constant infections. Excuse me. So now Lauren Connellan, I think it is, she put something out the other day that was interesting. She has done an FOA request because she's obviously been on the case of these missing scientists. She's done some fantastic work. I might contact her actually. So she has found out she's contacted the police and she's got the last photo of General McCasland. When you're having your chopper, don't talk about that. I've got to go back to the dentist. They said it's not that one. I don't believe them. I can't get distracted, so I'm not being rude, because I get distracted if I read the chat too much. Oh, well, thank you, darling. Exactly. Yeah, so I'm missing a load of chat. Let me just see what have I missed. Right, hang on. I can only see the last 4 comments on my screen. I have to keep on. Hello, George, Taffy, Bar, Band. I don't know what that means. Hi, Bev. You my pleasure, Shell. My budgie buddy loves the sound of your voice. Oh, hello, buddy. Oh, I had a budgie when I was little called Billy. I miss Billy. Now, apparently as well, he was violent. Again, this is all allegedly. Yeah, Stephen, there's so much going on with this one. I genuinely think she's seen something. And her husband, who was part of what, we don't know what he does. Why can't we know what he does at work? You know? Of course, it's mine, of course. We'll be back on there as well, don't worry. I'll be back on the politics channel this week. I just wanted to I wanted to give you all guys an update because I've got more information. Did Sparkle go? She was here. I didn't know she was here until after. I've not even gone back yet, so I've got to go back to the dentist again and start the process again, and I've not done it because I'm just like, I can't be bothered. What's the point? I was at the hospital again the weekend. I won't go into it now. It's boring for people, but yeah, I have neuralgia, a very rare form, and it's not trigeminal. But anyway, I don't want to talk about my health because we're not here to talk about that. But okay, I'm going to stop reading the chat and get distracted. Now, Lauren, we're going to watch an update in a minute, but she's got an FOI and she has got the last known verified image of retired Air Force Major General Neil McCasland. Now, this is the guy that vanished, and he was when his wife came back, he changed his clothes. The clothes that he was wearing were in the wardrobe. No one knows what he was wearing when he disappeared. And let's not forget, there's dash cams, ring cams, CCTV. Not one camera picked this person up walking out of his house in a small 1 hour, 1 hour window. It was an hour. So no one's seen him. No one caught him on camera. No witnesses, nothing. If you walk out your house, and this wasn't in the middle of a desert. It was in like in a neighborhood. If you live in a neighborhood and you walk out your house and never come back, someone somewhere is going to pick you up. I'm sorry, or seen you. Nothing. And his wife actually says to the police on the 911 call, it's like aliens have beamed him up. So that's where we're at with General McCasland. Now, he had Q clearance. He was above Wright-Patterson Air Base in Ohio. Who else did work for there? Amy Eskridge. We all know about Amy. I covered her in the first 2 to 3 shows. I say this is a massive, this has been going on for 2 months now. So guys, if you're so lost, I advise you to go back to the start. But I do want to put a video out with a few minutes of each case because it is a lot to go through. Anyway, so moving on to where we are right now. So Lauren's put, this is the last known and verified image of retired Air Force Major General Neil McCasland, captured the day before he vanished. Let's not forget as well that lady come forward saying that she met him the night before, related to Space Force. What the hell's that about? And he seemed fine. He went out to lunch. He went out to dinner with her the night before. Why was he with another woman the night before as well? Was he having an affair? Now, Lauren posted this it was taken Thursday the 26th, and the day before he vanished. And it has never been released until I posted it on X earlier today. Then the Benilio County Sheriff's Office provided me with this photo after part of my Freedom of Information request was finally fulfilled. According to the image label, it was taken from an entry main door jam cam surveillance camera at what appears to be an REI store, possible in Albuquerque. Again, Albuquerque. All these people. Monica Reyes, Melissa Casillas, Anthony Chavez, they're all in this area and more. Around Nevada, around where Area 51 is, where all these weird things keep on happening. You've got the Phoenix Light situation as well, what happened in the 90s. There's a lot of activity in that area, and all these people keep vanishing. So apparently REI is an outdoor sporting goods store. In the photo, McCasland appears calm and composed. He's carrying, we're going to see the photo in a moment, he's carrying a large white parcel tucked under his arm, along with a smaller boxed item and a yellow first aid kit. What? Let's not forget he left his phone, his keys, his watch. He had several smartwatches apparently. Now, he's carrying this large parcel along with a small item and a yellow first aid kit. Unfortunately, the image contains no usable metadata, and the resolution isn't strong enough to determine exactly what the items were or what any of the packaging says. He is also wearing his smartwatch or Garmin watch. One detail stands out. George, what's the matter, mate? Oh, they're playing now. They're going to be really loud now. Here we go. You hear them? Right. McCasland doesn't appear to be carrying a traditional REI shopping bag. However, REI does allow customers to place orders online and pick them up in store. If you can hear lots of noise, it's George. Leaving open the possibility that what he was carrying may have been retrieved rather than purchased during that visit. Also, why a first aid kit? That wouldn't indicate a plan eyed to me. Why would you carry a first aid kit? So here's the photo. So this is the last verified photo of General William McCasland. Thank you to the lovely Lauren. Is it going to let me make it big? There you go. So he's in a sports store. He's coming out the thingy, what are them called? The scanner things. And in his hand, he's got this big parcel. He's got what apparently looks like a first aid kit and this. He's got a watch on. What do people think? Let's have a quick look in the chat. Take care, Cindy. Are you off now? Carlos. Pen Eve. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm just looking at the chat. He took his gun with him. Yeah, apparently so. So we're gonna hear. I'm gonna play a little bit of Lauren's latest video. She only just put out, I think, today. I've just been listening to some of it. So let's have a quick listen. I might not have time to play it all because I've got to wash my hair in a minute. But let's have a listen. 17 hours ago.
This is the last verified sighting of retired Air Force General Neil McCasland the day before he went missing.
Just to shut the
this
door,
photo or this snapshot from surveillance camera footage was taken on February 26th, 2026. Again, that is
George,
the day before
naughty.
General McCasland went missing. And I was able to release this photo for the very first time on Friday, June 12th. After
a deputy dog, cheeky sod. George will rule the world one day. I'm telling you now. George and Gizmo would make amazing world leaders. So we're going to watch a little bit of Lauren. I've just linked this video in. She's brilliant. She's all over this. She's obviously had more time to put this together than me because I say I've been a bit manic the last few days. So we're going to watch a bit of her video. I'm going to be pausing it because obviously it's not my content, but I will be pausing it and giving my opinions. And you've got the link in there, so it's all under fair use. I might contact her and see if she'll speak to us, but she probably won't, but you never know.
Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office fulfilled my FOIA request. So much information here. But what you need to know about this photo, it was taken at an REI store, which is a sporting goods store. It's a popular store, and there's no metadata available on this photo, unfortunately. And I'm not certain of the location of this REI store. There is a location in Albuquerque, which would be where General McCaslin lives. So that will be the closest to him, the closest location. But there's also one about an hour or so away in Santa Fe. So again, I'm not certain of the one that he went to. I have reached out to the sheriff's office to confirm this, and I will keep everybody posted. But I had some online sleuths help out in looking at this photo as well. And listen, I'm speculating, obviously, but, and I'll zoom in a minute, but it appears that General McCaslin is holding a package that
George,
he may
no.
have ordered online and
Don't
gotten
tap my
shipped to the
laptop,
store.
George.
It looks like the store offers free shipping. And I see I'll zoom in. I see a folded up piece of white paper, which I was kind of thinking, okay, well, if he did order something online, maybe he printed the receipt, he folded it up, he took it with him in case there were any issues.
I just want to get some
Then-
comments up here. I totally agree with you, Bridget. She's a Christian, yeah. There's too many of them now. Yeah, exactly. And this is the first where the body. Good night, Space Cat, my lovely. Sweet dreams. This is the first that I know of that the bodies have been found. So you've got all these missing scientists. Now, do you not think it's a little bit weird that people are really hang on, Gizmo, stop it, Mama. No humping, George. Stop it. It's your brother. No, Mama. Gizmo's got the humps on again. He doesn't hump anybody other than George for some reason. He's a boy. Stop, it's weird. Babel. These dogs are nuts. So Al's supposed to be looking after them. Where are you? Where's Daddy gone? Tell Daddy to come look after you. Little pair of little terrors. The little terrors. Terrorise me. Her face where I stopped it. So there's no way that there's just 2 minutes. Now, I haven't even got onto the clusters yet. I think there's still more as well, you know. I don't think I've even finished covering all the ones. I just wanted to give you an update on these two because this stream's only going to be like an hour. But I've got loads to do. But I wanted to just give you an update on the two ones I can. And they both lived in a similar, in around the same area. Ah. Gizmo! Hang on a minute. I'm getting really annoyed with Al. Hang on. Sorry, I'm back now. Well, I asked him to look after him, and he's just sitting there watching telly with his headphones on. Bloody Menno. Hello, Ray Clay. How you doing, my friend? So anyway, so we're going to listen to some more Lauren. But there were more, and then once we've finished covering all of them, now he's gone off in a mood now, and he's gone in the garden and shut the front door so dogs can't get in, which is going to stress the dogs out. Oh my God, men, who invented them? Just saying. So Lauren, I can't leave you on that face, my lovely.
If you
there's got to be more. So once we've got all of the names that we know of since this current cluster from 2021, all of the names, we're then going to do a map and we're going to look at clusters. So we're going to look at all the ones in Ohio and around the area there, the Jet Propulsion Lab, Wright-Patterson. Then we're going to look at the Los Alamos, because this guy, even though he lived in Albuquerque, he was working over in Ohio. He was like traveling. Then you've got a little Boston cluster. There seem to be little clusters, and that's what we need to do. We need to look at where they all are. Oh, young Bob's on GB News now. Been taken to hospital apparently. So I'll cover that after on my other channel.
You actually zoom in, this looks to be like a first aid kit. And I had a friend that put this on Reddit in a group thread, and some online sleuths were able to identify this as a first aid kit. And again, that's not totally confirmed, but that's what it looks to be. I also have a few other digital forensics guys parsing through this for me, because I think that this could be helpful. I mean, if we figure out what this is, who knows? Because I think the general consensus is here. And again, I'll go through some of the police report and some of the body cam footage that I was able to obtain. But I think the general consensus is there were rumors that, or I shouldn't say rumors, but there was speculation based on what General McCaslin's wife had said, how he appeared to be frustrated about his declining mental health and his memory, that maybe he wanted to take his own life. Well, if that is a first aid kit, I mean, it doesn't seem like that would be one preparing to take his own life. I don't think that really seems to line up. So with that being said, let me just make this photo a more normal size for now. Let me go through a few sections of the police report that sort of detailed General McCaslin's morning, and also I think it'll clarify a few things for everybody. And the police, I have to say, the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office, I mean, from these reports, it really looks like they are leaving no stone unturned. Also, the FBI already had joined the search for General McCaslin, and they had already received the case per the police reports on March 3rd, 2026. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if the White House is planning on reiterating that when it comes to their investigation, because they had said they are looking into this as well, and they were going to pull in the FBI on their end, but the FBI has already been pulled in and briefed on General McCaslin. So I want to just point out a couple things that Susan McCaslin explained on a follow-up interview. Now, many of you have heard her initial 911 call. You've heard some of the body cam footage where she describes again that General McCaslin was frustrated in having this brain fog. But she says in this report that they didn't know anyone that had died by suicide, and she wasn't really sure how he felt about suicide, but you know, it just didn't really seem, again, like this is what he had planned on doing based on everything else. So let me just go through this. So this was a follow-up interview on March 7th. Susan explained that Neil maintained a consistent morning routine, typically eating yogurt and oatmeal each day. On the morning of his disappearance, he initially appeared to be behaving normally. However,
yeah, this is weird, because apparently he was behaving normally and then he went a bit weird. Now, Lauren isn't a conspiracy theorist or a conspiracy realist. She's very much a skeptic. So she will keep on pushing for the alien or linked or anything reason. So she's now going down the line of, was he losing his mind? Because you'll hear in a minute, because I listened to this earlier, not all of it, but most of it, that he's losing it. But Al came out with this interesting theory earlier, and it was, if he is getting dementia and he does have this really high Q clearance, have they had to bump him off? Because if you've got all this knowledge in your head and you're, losing your marbles, if you want to put it that way, that's the old-fashioned way, but, getting Alzheimer's or starting on the beginnings of Alzheimer's, do you really want someone wandering around with that? That's just a theory that Al had, but anyway, let's continue.
that he was more needy than usual and wanted to remain
I'm
close to
gonna
her.
let this play for a little bit because we're running really behind because I want it to be done. So I'm just gonna let this play a little bit, but say I've shared it. Say she's sub to her if you want. You don't have to, but she's really good and she's doing some really good work on this. So yeah, big up to Lauren.
Before she left for her appointment, and this behavior stood out as atypical. I had gone through this as well, and I had kind of said, in my experience, when I felt like this, when I felt needy or clingy towards my husband, I'm pretty independent. I had been scared or nervous about something. That is my experience. So Susan stated that when Neil would leave the house for physical activities such as walking, running, or biking, he often exited through the back door and would sometimes leave it unlocked if he expected only to be gone a short time. On this occasion, several irregularities were observed. Neil left behind both his cell phone and his watch, which was highly unusual. She explained that he always wore his watch and had never known him to power off or leave behind his phone. Typically, he charged his watch in the bathroom, but he would not leave the house without it. She also recalled that although he had been wearing one set of clothes that morning, he later changed, as the clothes he had been wearing were found left behind at the residence. When she returned home and discovered he was not there, she became concerned and immediately, went to search for him at Elena Gallegos Open Space, a location he frequently visited. And I apologize if I mispronounced that. When asked for her opinion on what may have occurred, she expressed concern due to his emotional state that morning, describing it as not good. She indicated that she worried he may have been trying to get away. She further explained that Neil had been struggling with anxiety and depression, and that his doctor had been attempting to find an appropriate prescription. She noted that he had expressed concerns about his declining physical and cognitive abilities and made statements such as, "I don't know how long I can go on like this," although he has never directly spoken about suicide. Despite these concerns, she stated that Neil had made plans for future activities, including skiing trips and other physically demanding outings. She identified several individuals as being those closest to him specifically, and then there are a few names. I'll just leave those out for now. When asked where he might have gone if he intended to harm himself, she stated that he would likely choose a location where he would not be
all the time. I'm not going to play all of this because I want to hear. She plays a bit of a call in a minute.
found by a child. Go to the gym, to which he agrees. She said that long of a period of time, had originally just assumed it was an Apple Watch, but listening to some of the body cam footage, it seems like it might be something called a Garmin watch.
So
instead.
if it was a Garmin watch, was this the one that he had on in this picture? Or was that, you know, and let's have a listen because I think we're going to see a little bit of the body cam footage again now.
So just keep that in mind. Also, something comes up about his friend group, his closest friends, and there are a few women in that group as well as men, but they make it a point to say
this is interesting. This is about a WhatsApp group that they've got. It's really interesting what she says here. And let's not forget he had dinner the night before with another woman. And we've heard that call as well with the police on the previous streams.
Here that they thought his relationship with this one woman in particular was strictly platonic. I mean, you know, he's married, so I would guess that as well, but I don't know.
Why would you need to say that? If you're married and you're in a group with a load of people, in a WhatsApp group, I think it was, or a chat group, why would you have to point out that one in particular, oh, that relationship is purely platonic? It doesn't make any sense because you're married, so it's just a given, isn't it? So she's done well spotting that
situation, but I did find that to be slightly interesting. And I'll go a little further in a second because one of his other male friends speaks about General McCaslin to the police, and they speak about another woman that he seemed to confide in a lot, which I found to be interesting. But the biggest thing here is we were told initially that there was a repairman at his home an hour before he went missing. And it seems like, I'm kind of putting this together, the quote repairman was a solar panel man, and General McCaslin got into some kind of confrontation with him, which is not very typical.
Interesting this. Now, I don't know where she's hearing this from, but I think she's been speaking to the family. She can't reveal her sources, but she's a journalist. She's spoken to the family. So this is interesting. Who was this repairman? Was he there to bump him off? Because he's the last person to see this guy alive that we know. Oh, no, because I think, did the wife go after the repairman had gone, or did she leave him there with him? We don't know that part.
Of
But the
him,
wife is adamant there's nothing going on, and I think she knows something, because she said he doesn't have enough clearance, which we now know he does, because the woman who said from the Space Force the night before said he had every clearance going. She said he didn't have enough clearance and it was old. So I think the wife, something is going on with the wife. She's either in denial or she's been told not to say.
he's just not a confrontational guy. And Susan described him as being upset about it, but said, hey, let's go to the gym, let's work out when I'm back. And he said, okay. So we've got future planning here. We've got all these things that would indicate that he wasn't planning on taking his own life. Again, just based on this. And in terms of the cognitive decline, that also is a little bit, I go back and forth on it, because there is a section from his doctor, and his doctor describes him as very, very sharp, very intelligent, but then goes on later to say, okay, he was expressing concerns about, dementia, and she was referring him to a specialist. So obviously, I don't think you refer, as a medical professional, you don't refer someone to a specialist if you do not believe the signs are there. So, just adding that in there. Now let's just go on. Okay. So this is a male friend of General McCaslin speaking to the police. I'm not going to say his name just for privacy purposes now. Okay. So-and-so provided insight into Neil, a retired Air Force officer who had served in the space division at a high command level, holding top-tier clearances, including TS, SCI, and SAP access. Following his military career, Neil worked as a paid consultant with Sandia Labs and remained intellectually engaged, participating in panels associated with the Hertz Foundation, in which he described as, quote, brain food. He was known to be highly analytical, disciplined, and proud of his physical fitness, which appeared to be a core part of his identity. Neil was not known to be confrontational and generally avoided conflict with no known enemies. However, he could be emotionally reserved, particularly in relationships with other men. For example, he never confided in a male friend about his relationship with Susan, and there appeared to be some emotional distance there. In contrast, he was more open with, this is a woman, or a female friend, whom he met through a bike club. Although their relationship was not physical, this woman was described as emotional, and Neil trusted her enough to confide in her. Over the past year, Neil experienced several significant personal losses. His father passed away, his mother was placed in a memory care facility, and there were 3 deaths within a short period connected to his, quote, natural father side of the family. These events may have contributed to a growing fear of abandonment. This theme was reflected in a recent nightmare he shared, in which he found himself in a room surrounded by friends who all turned their backs and walked away from him, leaving him alone. That just doesn't seem in character for a guy like General McCaslin. And so that's really interesting. I mean, he really did seem to be going through it per his wife and his friends, and that breaks my heart. However, again, he was still planning for the future. But his friend says there were indications of behavioral and possible cognitive changes in recent months. One of his other friends, again, I won't name the name, observed that Neil was not himself and noted he had difficulty finishing sentences. during a trip to Japan. This appeared to be the ski trip in mid-January, which included travel from LAX to Tokyo. Neil's behavior seemed inconsistent with his usual character. Although he had paid for 6 days of skiing, he only skied for 3. On the final day, he reported he could not ski due to gastrointestinal issues, described as, quote, a runny gut. Others on the trip, including Susan, participated in different activities such as snowshoeing. Observers noticed a difference in his personality during this trip. It also says he was not a rock climber and tended to prefer familiar environments when engaging in outdoor activities. At one point, he reportedly said, quote, "I can't go on like this," which raised questions about his mental and emotional state, particularly in light of recent losses and possible health concerns. In considering what may have happened, there was speculation that Neil may have gone hiking, possibly on the La Luz Trail. However, those who knew him indicated he would be more likely to go somewhere familiar rather than an unknown or remote location. There's also belief that it would be out of character for him to intentionally disappear or go somewhere where he did not want to be found. A comment attributed to him, quote, "Where you'll find me," may hold significance in understanding his intentions or state of mind. That I don't understand, because they don't show us where he says where you'll find me. And I have been
so weird, isn't it?
Again, searching through these documents. So this is just a random comment that he made, where you'll find me. I mean, everything seems to be indicating he was declining mentally, but I don't know based on this photo. And again, I'm not an expert on dementia, so I probably should have an expert on to discuss this. And I also want to pull in Doug McGregor, because I have a lot of the last known, or I shouldn't say last known, I have all of the coordinates in which the sheriff's department searched for Neil on these different trails and different areas. And I want to pull Doug in to show this. And also the body cam footage that I have been going through, there are a number of neighbors that police interviewed, and not one neighbor, and many of you may already know this, but not one neighbor has any footage of Neil on
This is what I've just been
surveillance.
saying. No neighbours, nothing, no one seen. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You don't just vanish into thin air. Right, I'm going to wrap this up in a minute. We're just going to, I think this is another call we're going to hear now. Hold on.
This is a call that was made that, well, basically police followed up on a call from a woman. And many of you may have heard this because Law and Crime put out the first half of this call. And I played it previously, where this woman was on the board with General McCaslin at Kirtland Partnerships. And they had dinner the night before, where she said that General McCaslin wasn't necessarily acting like himself. But on the first part of the call that was played by Law and Crime initially, she talks about how he had a very high security clearance and how he's in the UFO files. Well, right after that, she ends up clarifying, well, I don't actually know, what his clearance is now, basically that he's retired. She also states she doesn't know the last time that he swiped. And you know what? I'll play the call so you can hear it all for yourself. But it was interesting because it did seem to sort of contradict some of the stuff she initially said. And let me put this on playback speed. Let's do a little faster for now.
I don't know how what that is. If he still holds that high of a clearance or not. I know he has to have some sort of clearance for what he's doing at Sandia. And his wife, Miss Wilkerson's a former colonel herself.
Oh, okay. So what is the Kirtland Partnership? What is that?
We're a 501c3. We're the interface between Kirtland Air Force Base and the state and the feds and the county and city. So we do a lot of work for them in that regard.
So it's kind of liaisoning between the two for projects and things.
So this Kirtland Partnership is like a private company that, because you got you Wright Patterson and the Air Force Base, and then you've got, which is like government controlled, and then you've got the county, the state, and all these other things, and then you've got like the local police, and this company seemed to like integrate all of them together. And he was on the board of this company. Interesting. I don't know what the hell they've done to his head there. That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's how Neil and I were at dinner together Thursday evening. Is
The night before he vanishes. And this is apparently the second half of the call. So she was saying all this stuff and then she just sort of backtracks on it. It's really weird. This is, and again, he was named in the files. He was named in the WikiLeaks. This guy was the UFO whistleblower for Tom DeLonge. He was his insider. He was named in all the WikiLeaks files. He apparently knew all of the stuff on the UFOs. If anyone could prove that there was real alien life, it would be this guy, and he's vanished. And I just think it's really weird how all this is happening in the same year that they're putting all this stuff out. I still haven't even put, and there's more stuff has been released as well. We've still got to go through all the new videos and documents they've put out. They put some more out as well, apparently, since. So we've got to go through them as well. So I do feel that disclosure's coming. Many people are saying it's going to come out on Independence Day on the 4th of July this year. I don't know, but there's definitely something brewing, I feel. There's something coming. Whether it's going to be just a soft disclosure, whether it's going to be, we don't know. I just feel like the mood is changing now. It's become very mainstream. This, and some of the things that I'm seeing and filming, and you guys have told me, there's too much going on. It's weird. Anyway, listen to the rest of this call.
Space Systems Command was in town.
You said you talked to some people out at Kirtland and he hasn't accessed the base as far as they're aware.
Correct.
Hasn't accessed the base.
So
Okay.
they're monitoring that as well to ensure if that card is used there.
Is that something he would like? Are we talking about like a specific building or all of the base? Is there?
Well, normally he would go out to Air Force Research Lab on the west side of the base.
Okay.
Through the Truman entrance, or I'm sorry, through the Truman entrance, or he would go out to Sandia on the U-Bank entrance.
That's another thing. That film, I was asked to go and watch it on Saturday, but I said no. So my friend asked me, and I said she went with her other friend. But Brum Vixen watched it. I seen her briefly come in. I was talking to Al about the dogs, so I couldn't speak to her. She watched it. And everyone's saying it's crap. Space Cats watched it as well. She said it's crap. So I don't know. I don't want people to ruin it for me because I want to watch it. I think people are expecting an Independence Day type thing where the aliens invade and all that. It's not like that at all. It's more of a bit like this, the films that you get where they're discussing how they're going to bring disclosure, and it's more about the conspiracy side, from what I understand. You don't see full-blown alien invasions in it or anything like that. It's not like Independence Day, which is a bit weird because Steven Spielberg, what's the point in getting him in if you're not going to make that sort of blockbuster film? But anyway.
Security forces said his card hasn't been swiped in quite a while.
What is quite a while? I don't know.
Now, when you say swipe, is that so he would get on base? He wouldn't have to swipe getting on the base, right?
Yeah, to get on base, you have to show your ID.
But you don't have to swipe it. Would there be a record of that? If you...
Yes, there's a record of who goes on base. Yeah.
Oh, is there? Okay. Oh. So it's specifically going on base, either at the Truman Gate or at the U-Bank Gate.
Correct.
And he's not showing up on it anywhere. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay.
Yeah.
Then I think. All right. and this seems out of character for him. You said he was kind of spacey on Thursday night.
Yeah, and that is out of character for him.
Yeah.
To be honest, he's usually he's so full of knowledge. It's crazy scary how smart he is, and so he's usually talking to folks like that, really in depth about what's going on. What are we doing with the movement of space and things like that. And he was just very quiet.
Oh,
I don't know. I was trying to think, is he trying to read the room?
Mm-hmm.
read the room. How?
It was just a little off to me. And when I saw that this morning, I was like, okay, this is kind of tying together.
Yeah. Okay. Did he make any, looking back, any concerning statements or any kind of strange statements at all that you're aware of?
No statements at all. He had himself a non-alcohol Guinness and kind of just sat there enjoying himself. Enjoyed the evening. And then when we left, people were still talking. I didn't get a chance to say bye. He had already left.
Oh, okay.
He was driving his little green Ranger SUV looking car.
Okay, I'm just gonna quickly play something else for you all. So this
is it.
This is I'm gonna say basically he has an InReach device and they're looking for his watch. It seems like the Garmin, and that's where I started picking up on the Garmin watch thing because I had never heard of this. But let me make this bigger for you guys. Okay.
And
this is as loud as it goes. Sorry.
this is it. So it might be his avalanche beacon.
Okay.
If that's not a Garmin, I'm not sure what it is.
I think it usually has a Garmin name on it. Two-way.
It's not really a Garmin, it's an
But it's
InReach.
like, but you think this might have GPS?
So what is this? Because they're saying it's usually got the Garmin name on it, but it doesn't. Like it's been modified somehow. If you listen to what they're saying to each other, it's like, what's this? I don't know what this is, but I think this is something from the government, and they've based it on a Garmin, and because the name's been taken off, and he's asking what it is. Does it have a GPS in it? It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Tracking two-way radio.
Or it's his avalanche beacon.
What's an avalanche beacon? What the hell? What the hell's that? Weird.
Let's see.
Like he has a lot of tracking devices.
Yeah.
Clearly he didn't bring them. I mean,
Targets, goggles. That's it.
He's Googling it, look.
Here he shared with me where I could track him on the InReach device.
InReach
If you like, I
device.
can forward you this email.
Are you able to?
Go screenshot it and print it.
Could you open up that link? Would that be possible?
Bloody dogs.
So there's some tracks. For example, click on this one. That was 2023.
Yeah.
Do we know if our talk is?
That's 22.
This is a big one. I'm up and looking into future.
And that's 21. So nothing recent.
1190 Laurel Loop.
Copy.
Most
So
recent
she's showing him how she's tracked him in the past, look.
September 2025.
You know why this is really weird? This is the 28th of February this year. He went missing on the 27th at 10 to 2. Why have they only come the next day? Do you not think that's a bit weird?
okay. So I want to also just reiterate a few things that Susan McCaslin had originally told detectives that was left behind. And this was right when they went to her home on February 27th, when they were called to Quail Run. So she told deputies. Oh, and also I want to point out they had
Do you not think
asked-
it's a little bit weird though, Steve, that he had all this stuff? Do you know what I mean?
Susan whether or not she wanted to issue a silver alert. And she, based on the body cam footage, she hadn't answered them right away. So there was, I think, some buzz around the fact that a silver alert wasn't initially deployed, but I believe that this is why, because they said, okay, do you want us to issue this now? And this was much later on in the evening, I believe. And she said, yeah, let's do that, or something like that. But I just wanted to point that out. Okay. So she had said that he left behind several items he normally carries with him, including his cell phone, watch, pocket knife, comb, and a utility tool. And that's when she said it's very uncommon for him to leave those items behind. I don't know what kind of utility tool that would be. And then I want to point out, she also says that Susan advised she believed Neil may have taken a .38 caliber Smith & Wesson revolver with him, as she was unable to locate the firearm in either his bedside drawer or the resident's safe. So that is why she had indicated she thought that a gun was missing. It wasn't part of the safe, but it wasn't in his drawer, I guess, or where he normally would keep it. So I'm still trying to sort through this. I'm still trying to, I guess, figure all of this out. And I just want to provide you all with as much information as I possibly can in one sitting. Again, I'm going to do a follow-up to this because I still have a lot more to get through. I can show you a few more of the body cam footage from the neighbors. I mean, I feel like in some of these cases, and this is one of them, like, everything is important. There is one particular neighbor that talks about another neighbor and basically says, yeah, he's the devil. And I couldn't figure out, I'm kind of like, should I follow up on this? Like, who is this neighbor and who is, and you know, a lot of the neighbors, they knew General McCaslin, but they didn't really know him. They would kind of say, oh yeah, I know his wife, but you know, Neil kind of keeps to himself. Sometimes if I waved, one neighbor said, you know, if I waved to him, he just kind of like keeps on walking. And he said he wasn't unfriendly or anything like that. He was just kind of like kept to himself. He just was sort of in his own world. So I don't want to sound like a broken record. There's a lot to sort through here, and I'm still going through it, but here's some information for now. So I want to just also say that if you have any information about General McCaslin, please reach
Right,
out
so that's that
to the
then.
Bernalillo County.
So gosh, she can go on a bit, can't she, as well? She's great though. She's great. I love her. Okay, so that's where we are. Just a quick update. So it was an hour, but it's gone over an hour now, but that's it, I'm done. So we've got an update on Neil, William Neil McCasland. We've got a new photo out. I've got a feeling we're going to see him soon as well. I don't know why, I've just got a feeling. And then we've got an update on Melissa Casillas. We know that she was found against a tree. We know that this private detective is all over this. I think I do need to make a video on that because there's so much. Anyway, that's all I wanted to do, and just jump on and just give you an update on both of those cases. Right, so there's still lots to do. I will be, I do want to cover some more videos that have been released in the UFO files, and I'm also going to be jumping over to my politics channel as well at some point this week and doing a live stream and an update on all the weird, crazy shit that's going on and how the hell Two-Tier Queer is still in his job. But anyway, I want to keep politics off this channel. It's banned, okay? Right then, guys, thank you very much, and I'll see you all very soon. I hope you've enjoyed the update. And for those of you that aren't following this, none of this would have made any sense to you. Okay. I don't think I'll be on tomorrow night though, but I'll probably be on, yeah, I'm out tomorrow. I'm out Wednesday, possibly Wednesday, Thursday, but I might also do a little random pop-up when I'm doing my animals outside. I might just pop on if the weather's nice. You can just watch me doing all the animal food and stuff. But for now, I want to go and wash my hair. So I will say good night. God bless. Good night. God bless. And thank you to Cindy for joining our membership. Thank you to Jay over on Penny Bunny for buying some stuff for the hogs and the Z birdies. And I will see you all soon. Thank you. Good night. God bless. Bye.